This is what happens when you're walking through the bush and you just get your body kind of cut up and just scratched up because I don't have a machete. I don't have any way to chop the branches that have a sharp in front of me. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it'll be fine. Just gotta get it cleaned up and then that's it. Okay, so I'm outside in the Colombian heat. It's probably getting close to midday. The sun's getting very hot. I know the sun rises very early over in Colombia, but it's getting very hot. I'm very dehydrated. I've been so tired and out of energy. I haven't had much time to film. You know, this isn't just like your typical survival thing where they've got a crew or they even get dropped off at the exact location where they need to be. I have to walk into my location. So far, I've been walking for almost a full day. So I came in yesterday, slept, took a sleep outside without no shelter. I was bitten quite heavily, and now I've been walking quite a lot. I haven't had any water since yesterday, and I'm very dehydrated. I need to find some water soon, I know that. So I need to do essentially. I wanted to use these leaves as a part of my kind of coverage for my genitals, but as you can see, there are sharp thorns inside there, and I would not want that. I might just use these. This will make editing a lot easier, as you won't have to blur out a penis. And just put that around. I kind of give enough coverage. Now, I can hear birds, which is a good sign for water. I'm pretty sure there's water around here. It's a case of me finding it to get there. And I've dumped some of my bags over where it's a bit closer to where it should be. But finding water is the most critical thing in this whole challenge. Without water, you'll be dead in 3 days, probably even shorter in the Colombian heat. And if I'm out here extremely dehydrated, there's no way for me to get out. So that would be death, essentially, as there's no way to rescue me in that sense of the word. I can just about see the water beyond the tree line. Almost there. Oh, I can see it. It is absolutely magnificent to see. I kind of knew it was going to be around here somewhere, and I'm happy to have found it finally. Oh my god, it feels, oh my god, I can almost taste it. Oh god, look at that, look at that. Oh. Oh my god, it feels so nice on my feet. Oh my god, it's cooling me down a bit. Unfortunately, it's not moving too fast. And it does look a bit dirty. I know I've stepped there, which makes it look a bit more dirtier. This water's not moving too fast, and I'm out here for a certain amount of time. And if I get sick, there's no way for me to get out because I won't have the energy to. So what I'm gonna have to do is find a way to decontaminate it. Best way for that is going to be a fire. So I need to both create a fire and also need a container for me to boil it in. I don't have any containers on me, as I didn't want to bring any to make it too easy. So I'm gonna have to look for a container. But first I'm gonna kind of like find a place to make camp, or like for kind of temporarily, whilst I go and do these kind of tasks. Alright, so I've kind of chosen a place to put all my stuff. As you can see, I've been carrying a lot of bags in because I've got a lot of camera gear. See, like a lot of batteries in there as well. It's an absolute nightmare carrying it in. One of the hardest parts about this whole task is the camera gear, because the survival stuff I can do, but carrying all the gear and having to film all the time are two things which I can do without, because it's not key to my survival, but I want to make a good video. So I've got to make a compromise. I've got to try to film as much as I can, even though it doesn't help me. It doesn't, you know, filming doesn't hydrate me. It doesn't fill up my stomach. It doesn't keep me warm at night. But I feel like I've got to do it to kind of, you know, make as good a video as possible. So it's one of those things you've got to do, and it takes a lot of energy out. You've got to do a lot of focus. You've got to make sure the microphones are working fine, and there's enough batteries in the camera. It's just quite difficult. So as you said, this is going to be kind of my temporary camp. I'll put the bag somewhere. I'll make some kind of shelter. It'll be quite simple. Hopefully it doesn't rain. I was very thankful last night because it did not rain at all. I think it rained a little bit, but not much. So whilst it was a terrible night's sleep, it was very uncomfortable. In my dreams, I was thinking, why am I, like, in my dreams, like whatever scenario I was in, whether I was seeing friends or something like that, I'll be like, I'm in so much pain. Why is my leg in so much pain? And then I realised it's because I'm sleeping on a tough ground and it was digging into the side of my leg, and that's kind of going into my dreams. I was bitten up quite heavily. By the end of the night, they kind of stopped biting. Maybe they realised they weren't even that interested in me and that wasn't worth the time. It's just good for me. Yeah. So yeah, my main focus right now is going to be water. Then it will be shelter. Then it'll be food. Because I know shelter's going to be important for tonight. Food, I can get away with not eating any food today. But as you can see, this water, I don't want to drink it straight out of there for a main reason. Like if I get sick, I'm stuck in this place and I can't get out. Because I won't have the energy to get out if I'm sick. And I'll be losing fluids and I'll have no time to get in and out. So I need to be very careful. I don't have any containers on me to boil it in. From what I've seen in this area, there's no like rocks or stones, which can be used in kind of survival by kind of heating up the rocks and putting it inside, like say, a hole full of water, and that will boil the water, make it safe to drink. I cannot really see any rocks. I guess that's just the type of area we're in. Obviously, when you're looking at Google Maps, you can't see what is on the surface, so my plans have to change. So I'm going to look for some kind of like there's something there already. Potentially, we can boil water in one of these. But as you can see, boiling water in this, whether it may work or not, it is wooden, so it will likely burn. Also down to the fact that it's very small, and that's not going to give me much water, because once you boil it, you'll only have a few tablespoons inside there. So I'm going to go and hunt for some containers. I know on the way in I've seen empty plastic bottles. They will be key. I will try and look for one now. Yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to just put a GoPro on my shoulder to get more camera angles and go from there. It's really close now. I can hear him. I can hear the twigs being broken underneath his feet. He's now very, very close. Can you hear that? Well, if you heard that, I thought that somebody, well, a person was walking towards me. I can hear the guy, he's got closer. I better put my shorts on so he doesn't run a naked guy in the woods. I'm hoping he leaves me alone. I better put my shorts on. Because if you see a naked guy in the woods, there's going to be an alarm bell. But I'm just going to stay here. I'm staying quiet and not moving. I can hear him getting closer. So whispering. If you heard that, you would have thought that I thought that somebody was kind of walking towards me. It turned out not to be a person. It turned out to be something similar to like a monitor lizard. It's quite a large lizard, about 3 foot in length. Yeah, so I kind of believed it was a human. At the same time, that's a concern, because if that was at night, yeah. At the same time, I'm happy it wasn't a person. If that was at night, I'd be a bit defenceless. I wouldn't be able to see. I haven't got any knives or machetes on me. This means I have no form of defence against something like that. So that is a big concern. I don't know if you saw it on the camera that clear, but you can probably hear it. But yeah, the whole time I thought it was a human, and I was kind of lying away, hiding. Yeah. Okay, so I've just found myself a bottle in this kind of a small lake. So I just found myself a bottle in a small lake, and I've just set up my camera equipment so I can go pick it up. It just takes a while to kind of set up all these kind of 4 or 5 cameras. This is good news. This is good news for me having this bottle, because this means I can dangle it above a fire and boil the water, which is very important. Boiling the water is key so I don't get sick, because there's a big danger here. If I get sick, I can't get out. It's a bit dirty, but it's gonna have to do. Give it a good clean out and go from there. Gross. Need to get all the sediment on here, off here even. Sediment is what bacteria will cling to. Any pathogens will be in here, so I want to clean it out. Just give it. And then now let's just fill it up. Wow. Let's fill it up. There we go. Water's quite dirty. It's better than nothing. Let's just get this back to my camp. Oh, fuck me! I got my camera a bit wet there. Oh well. That'll have to do. So here we are. So here we are. Now I've got a container for water, as well as some water in there. Now my next plan is to make fire. So I'm going to have to find some tinder, some kindling and so forth, so I can make the fire and get it all ready and prepared. The nights aren't too cold, so fire's not key for warmth. So the nights aren't too cold, so fire's not key for warmth. But it's key for me not being dehydrated, because I'm very, very thirsty. Luckily my camp is in the shade, which is very key, because if it weren't in the shade I'll be losing heat. I was going to make way back to my camp so I can continue in this survival piece. Luckily the camp is not too far away from the water. It's quite good. If I'm too close to the water, there can be more mosquitoes. If I'm too far from the water, then I'm too far from a great source of kind of health and life, essentially. So you got to find that compromise. I was going to get up to my shelter now. So I'm going to make my fire here because it's in the sun, it's nice and clear. A lot of forest fires and wildfires are created by humans. So a key thing is to make sure the area is clear and the fire won't spread. Unfortunately, we have no kind of rocks or stones to be able to put it around and make a fire circle to prevent it in. So I'm just going to keep my eye on it and make sure it's kept away from anywhere where it could kind of inflame it. So I'm going to get my kindling sorted now. Also, another note, kind of this whole filming part is though it is a pain to do, it does give me something to do, which I guess I appreciate, because I am absolutely bored out here. I've got absolutely nothing to do. I am bored to hell. That's one of the worst parts about this, is that I'm bored. So what I want to do is kind of find some kind of, there's plenty of dead wood. So stuff like this, I'm going to keep it near to where the fire's going to be, just so it's there and ready. The best kind of wood is hanging wood. Best type of wood is hanging deadwood. Hanging deadwood will be off the ground, which means it won't really get soaking wet when it does rain, and it will dry off very quickly because it's not on the ground, and the ground stays wet and soggy because it is essentially mud. So I've got that there. I'm gonna continue looking for stuff. But the main thing I do need to find is the tinder. I could probably use the leaves and get away with it, but I want to look for what else I can find. As you can see, these leaves here are the biggest type of leaves around here. When making a shelter like an A-frame, for example, you want big leaves so that the rain will kind of run off it and you won't get wet. There's nothing big out here, so if it rains, I'm most likely going to get wet. I'm pretty sure it's unavoidable at this point. Unless you can get a layer of leaves like 10 meters thick, you're going to get wet. This looks like it could be absolutely ideal as tinder. I want to use this along with some leaves and see what I can do. I've never used this before, so we're going to see how successful it's going to be. Now I'm going to grab some leaves, go from there. Luckily there are dead leaves everywhere. You look. Plenty of dead wood here. That's in no sort of supply. The main thing will be so I can catch a flame. I've just noticed I've forgotten to take my torch off. As you can tell, I am in the wild, but I did think I saw a human coming. Which is why I put these shorts back on. It's going to go back into my bag. It's going to be left inside there. Now it's time to put my bag here. Now it's time to put my bag here, and we're going to get going. There's plenty of kindling here as well. All these much smaller sticks. It's going to be very useful. Like, it's literally all over the place. I'm going to have no issues with getting a fire going, hopefully. You know, probably shouldn't say that too soon, kind of jinxing it, but we'll see. These will be key because it's going to clear the area of any potential fire hazards. So picking up these leaves are probably the best ones to pick up. I've got a fair bit. I'm going to see what I can do. Just give me a second. I need to orientate myself. I'm very knackered at the moment. To make this fire, I'm going to use a credit card reader. It's kind of like, to make this fire, I'm going to use a little magnifying glass, which is used to read small print, if you are kind of hard of kind of reading. So to make this fire, I'm going to use this kind of magnifier, which is used, and it can be found all the way around. To make this fire, I'm going to be using this. It can be found around the house. It is used to read small print, so you know, a lot of time elderly people might have it. But I'm going to use this to make fire, because it's going to be able to direct the sun into tinder. I want to get as small a dot as possible. Ah. Ah. That one didn't work. Unfortunately, that one did not work. Oh my god, I'm so hot. I'm in the sun at the moment. I need to cool down. So making a fire in a survival situation is so troublesome. Especially when you're filming the whole thing, it means you've got to do two jobs at once. Making a fire back at home is a lot easier because you're well fed, you're not hungry. You've got the right equipment, but today I'm just going to use this print out of a Google map I've got on me. There's some dark places on this map where I'm going to be able to focus the light, and you know, a dark colour will absorb more of the light than a light colour. So we're going to give this one a go. I'm going to sit down doing this because I'm absolutely shattered. It's already smoking. not enough. It's not catching the flame correctly. It is so hot. Oh, it is so hot. Ah. I don't have the patience to be dealing with this. I'm so hot. I'm going to try again. This time I'm going to use some more black material. I'm going to try again. This time I'm going to use more black material and see what happens. I'm knackered and you can't just keep on doing this all day. Okay, make sure this fire keeps on going. I can't risk losing it, just in case. Just add a bit more paper. It's just survival at the end of the day, you've got to use what you can. Okay, make sure this fire keeps on going. I can't risk losing it, just in case. Just add a bit more paper. It's just survival at the end of the day, you've got to use what you can. You've got to make sure you don't suffocate the flames. Gotta keep it burning. Feel like I didn't prepare enough tinder for this. which is a big issue. Well, kindling, I mean. These, I don't have any way to suspend it over anywhere. Now what I'm going to do is, now I've got enough. What I'm going to do is, now that I've got enough of a spread on that fire, as you can see, and let that die down, and then I'm going to use the bottle and put it on the embers so that the fire will be gone, so that the fire won't cause it to melt, but it'll be warm enough to get it to a nice boiling, kind of a rolling boil temperature. Let's give it a bit of time to go out. putting a bottle on these sticks, or if it, obviously keep it away from the hottest part, which is going to be the ash. Just laying it across, and that will just essentially give it a nice grill. Put it to cook on. I'm going to just be quick about this. I'm going to use a camera strap to strap the bottle and let the fire die down. I'm going to use the embers to heat up the bottle. Okay, so what I'm going to do before my camera completely runs out is I'm going to take this bottle, put it inside the fire, and let the extremely hot mud, it's hot, let the mud bring it to a rolling boil. As you can see, the fire is still smoking, which means it's still very hot. So you've got to be careful it doesn't melt the plastic. So as you can see, I was going to put it put the water bottle inside the mud of the fire. The mud is very hot, but it won't burn the plastic hopefully and won't melt it. Obviously with a fire will always melt plastic. So this is the only way for me to try to bring it to a kind of a boil, or kind of just to kill any pathogens in the water. All my batteries are about to run out, so I'm gonna have to do a change. I don't know why I did that piece. Okay, so at the moment, the rain has stopped, the thunder stopped. Just going to check on my water bottle. I'm very dehydrated at the moment, so we're going to see how it is. It will have gotten to a boil while it's underneath, and this means I should be able to get some drinkable water. As you can see, it's still smoking, but there we go. It still feels very warm, which is a very good sign because it's been there for a long time and it's been there through the rain, which means it was at a boiling temperature. So I'm going to drink it now. That means it was at a boiling temperature. It's very warm. Bon appetit. It's warm. I wish you could kind of feel how warm it is. It's very warm, very hot still, but it's clean water, which I know I shouldn't really get any pathogens kind of get into me. Just gonna let it cool down a bit more because it is still quite warm. So while I'm here, over this course of today, I've been finding some nuts and seeds and fruits, but I don't know which are going to be safe to eat. So I'm going to test them out by biting them and putting some of the juices on my tongue. I want to see if it's... These should be fine to eat for now. Okay, that should be fine. Hasn't numbed out my mouth, which is a plus. These don't look too good. These are kind of, look at that. White stuff comes out. Just not a good sign, so I'm going to spit it out. Put it on the floor for now. The final one is this one. I don't think this one's edible. Well, I'll give them a go in a bit. What I'm going to do is wait 20 minutes and then I will eat them, see how I feel. Okay, so it's just like started raining out here. I don't mind it, to be honest. It's quite good. So I thought I saw something cooling in the lens. So it started raining out here. I'm quite happy by it. It's going to cool down the temperature here. The temperature's really dehydrating me. Before I've got a source of water that's going to be lasting me long enough, like clean drinking water is going to last me long enough, let's say. It started raining here. I'm happy about that. It's going to cool down the air temperature and it's going to stop the air from dehydrating me, as I haven't got a clean drinking water situation sorted yet. Unfortunately, compared to say in survival TV shows, they scout the area and they'll figure out exactly what the participant or whoever it's a survivalist, whoever's recording it, they will show them exactly what is in the kind of area in the wild that's going to help them make fire, water, shelter and food. Unfortunately, because I don't have that, there's not really much for shelter here. Have a look around. Like you can see all the trees. There are no trees with any large leaves. The ones I did see earlier, they got thorns on, which they're useless then. But yeah, but there's nothing which would stop a heavy downpour. There's like nowhere I can go. There's no caves because this is all unplanned. I never know what's down here on the ground.
Here we go, come on!
So I'll be honest, my nights.
Let it rain!
And whenever it starts raining,
with thunder and lightning!
There is no kind of plan that will work because it will never keep me completely dry. And wasting my energy building a shelter which won't keep me decently dry is a waste of my energy. So a lot of sleeping, a lot of time when I'll be sleeping, I might be sleeping out in the open because it's just not worth doing it. As you can see, it is now raining very heavily. There's no amount or no size of leaves that will keep me dry enough in this situation because the leaves aren't big enough, and you never know what's on the ground when you get here because I do my research of Google Maps. But yeah, it's just going to pour down and I'm going to have to just sustain as hard as I can. It's in the evening now. I just got this fish. We're probably about an hour away from complete sunset into darkness. It does get very dark very quickly here because we are near to the equator. So unfortunately I can't really start a fire particularly because we need the sunlight to be. Unfortunately we can't just start a fire because we need the sunlight for that, and I don't have the energy for it as well. I'm very dehydrated still, not really perfect, so I'm gonna have to eat this completely raw. So I'm gonna have to eat this completely raw. I'm gonna try to descale it with my hand, but realistically most of the scales are going to stay on. See what it tastes like. It's very tough to bite into, and there's way too many scales in there still. It's the fin. The blood in here will help keep me moisturised. Oh, it's not the nicest tasting thing, and there's guts inside there. Just removing the guts by hand. So I could always make a fire out of that. I was burning coals, but I just don't have the time or the energy to do that. I've got most of the meat of this now. Mostly it's all just bone and the head now. And have to, and that's just all mostly. Okay, so this is my second night in the kind of Colombian jungle, or whatever you want to call it. If you listen to those sounds, you can hear the jungle really becomes alive at night. You know, those noises like those are kind of ribbits, almost like a frog, and those kind of bird calls, I'm not too concerned about those. But it's the breaking of branches and twigs on the jungle floor which concerns me the most. After my encounter with what may or may not have been a monitor lizard, which is about 3 feet long, I'm concerned out here. Before I left, I was warned by a local about there being big cats out here. That's a big concern for me. Any kind of big cat snakes, these monitor lizards. If one comes at me in the night, I don't have a machete, I don't have a knife, I don't have any real protection from these. I have got my fire going. It's a big safety for me, kind of mentally hoping that will keep any predators away. I'm fully aware that there are some fish guts out near me where I'm sleeping at, which is a bad move on my half. But this is where my fire is, so I've got to stay here. You know, the fish guts could attract any kind of predators. I can see, there we go, the night vision's a lot clearer now. Yeah, I can now, I've got a infrared torch above my camera, so now we can see a bit more. If I just go off night vision, this is what we'd see: fire, black, 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 fire, black, more pitch black, and then rip it back on. There we go. You can kind of see, but I can't really do this all night. I will have to go to sleep, but that'll take some time. Mozzies and other bugs are out, but I don't think they're attacking me yet, because the fire and the smoke, especially the smoke, will be a deterrent for mozzies to come towards you. They're not a fan of smoke, apparently, so hopefully this will be fine. Now all I've got to do left is sleep and somehow get through the night. Hopefully I don't wake up too much, but I know I will. I will need to keep an eye on this fire, so hopefully I do wake up quite a bit, because I don't want it to go out of control. If it goes out of control, then I'm screwed, and I don't want to cause a forest fire or a wildfire. So I'd rather it just stays as embers rather than it go on. Like, I'd rather it stay as embers than it go into being like a full-on kind of fire. It's just safer that way. I don't do any damage to the environment. Thought I heard something. Oh, it's going to be a horrible night's sleep. This will be a nightmare. I'm looking up, and I've got no canopy above me. That means if it does start raining, I'm looking up, I can see there's no canopy above me. That means if it does start pouring down, then that means I am going to get very wet. But I'm near to the fire, so that's key for my safety and for my warmth. Yeah, I'm kind of looking up at a star up there. It kind of helps you feel a bit safer, just kind of focusing my eyes on something, so that I'm kind of I kind of like by looking. I'm looking up at that star up there. Don't know if there's one or two. I think I can see two. And it kind of comforts me having something to fixate on rather than having all the jungle noises and the fear of being out here naked kind of overcome me. Yeah, it's comforting because I guess, you know, there's stars all around the world, you know, whether you're back in England or not, you know, in a safe place there's going to be a star up above. So it kind of relates me back to home. It makes you feel safe because it's something which is common with home and kind of safety. I am sleeping with a stick beside me, just in case of an animal attack. It probably won't help, but I don't have any kind of machetes or sharp tools or knives. So this is the best which I can do. If one does come at me like a big cat, I will probably just kind of make myself big and just toss it at it. Well, you know you're scared when you're sleeping with a weapon, if you can call a stick a weapon. I feel like this fire is the only thing protecting me at the moment. It's the only thing keeping watch.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
I don't feel safe here at all. I don't want to die out here. I want to get back home after this challenge in one piece, and I am extremely scared right now. There's too many noises, and it's just too many branches being broken. So it's not going to be a person, that's going to be an animal. Could be a lizard, could be a snake, could be a big cat, I don't know.
Woo! Ah!
Just heard something which is very close to me. I don't feel safe out here. Like, I don't feel safe. Oh my god, how am I gonna sleep? There's definitely something out there. I know it. I know it, there's something out there, I can hear it. So yeah, I don't feel even remotely safe. So I'm bringing out the mosquito net which I used earlier for fishing. At the moment, I'm just trying to put the fire out a bit so that I don't have to risk it going out of control. The embers were still burnt, that's the main thing. There we go, just kind of put the fire out. We've still got the embers going. That should be good enough for now. Okay, so I'll put the mosquito net up. This isn't so much for the mosquitoes, it's more for my feeling of safety. You know, it's a thin layer, it's not going to protect me from any animal should they attack. It's not going to. This mosquito net will not. This mosquito net isn't for mosquitoes per se, but it will help. This is for if any animals attack, if any big cats, any lizards or anything attacks in my sleep. You know, it's not going to stop them from attacking me, but it's going to give me that kind of physical barrier of safety so I can actually get to sleep, because this is a bit too kind of scary to be out without any kind of layer. You know, it's a thin layer, but any layer counts, and it makes me feel a lot nicer. Oh, that's so much better. I'm probably going to curl myself into a ball as well, in a fetal type position. I don't know why, it's making me feel a lot safer being in a fetal type position. Maybe it protects more of my. Maybe it protects more of my. Maybe the fetal position protects more of a human's body. I don't know. It's more compact, and plus my leg doesn't stick out from the mosquito net. I'm just gonna go try and get to sleep. My camera away. So the fire's getting a bit too close to my shelter. I fell to sleep. I'm gonna have to cover it with dirt again. I was about to ask for help from someone, but I realised I'm not really. I hear everyone. So I'll just kill the fire enough for now that it's just like embers. It will flame up again. I just gotta keep an eye on it. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. It's kind of probably about 4 AM. We're an hour away from sunrise. Then from there I get some more water.